Good morning, everybody. Thanks so much for dialing in today. I have the pleasure of introducing you guys to Michael Helmbrecht, Lifesize's own Chief Product Officer, and we're coming to you live from Lifesize's own webcast, which is a pretty cool streaming service that we offer that allows us to use our very own platform here. So thanks so much, Michael, for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me. Excited to be here.
Absolutely. So today we're going to be talking to you guys about controlling the chaos and making the most out of video meetings. So, Michael, you've been in this space for quite some time, huh?
Yeah, 10 years.
Wow, that's a long time. So you've seen how meetings have kind of progressed and changed from more or less in-person to video. So talk to us a little bit about some of the things you've seen change in the last 10 years or even longer, and we'll kind of take it from there.
Sure. Well, I think video communication is really can be a transformative technology when people have access to it and can use it easily with whoever they need to. And that's really the biggest thing that's changed in the time that I've been in this industry, is that the technology has gotten so much more accessible and so much easier to deploy and use, not just internally, but with customers, partners, folks on the outside of your organization you need to talk with, that it's really changed the way the technology can be used so that it can be an everyday communication tool that people use on their own, without somebody having to set it all up or a lot of complexity.
The poor IT guys.
Yeah, and that's the big change. When I started in this industry, the quality that we delivered at Lifesize was amazing, and it's even more so today. But even though our ease of use was great, the state of the technology, particularly before you could do it with a cloud service, required that you had to do a lot of complex, long number dials, IP addresses, or other things. And that really got in the way of usability. It really intimidated people. That's all basically gone now. I mean, I can send an invitation for somebody to call me or to call into a meeting of mine, and they can just join from a browser in seconds, and they don't have to do anything. And all of a sudden, they're in a call that's more engaging. And it's more engaging or higher quality than anything we've ever seen.
Right.
And it's just a snap to get into it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you mentioned a couple things there about ease of use and kind of not burdening your IT staff or whomever you have to hire to do that. So. Talk to us a little bit about our solution maybe and kind of how that ease of use and quality really transforms the meeting cadence and productivity there. Now any user can just go in. Like we've got a couple people in the room with us and they're watching the stream very easily. I can see, you click a button and it's there. So talk to us a little bit about how that ease of use kind of translates into productivity for a company.
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, we really believe at Lifesize that ease of use and making the service and the products simple to use and simple to support inside an organization, that really matters more than anything else. And we invest a great deal of time and money in things like building up user experience design teams and really investing in research and development of how to make things simple and intuitive for a first-time user or the guest that I invite in, to have a call with me, who may have never used this technology before in their life. They may have used FaceTime on their phone with their family, but in a professional setting, in a really enterprise-grade technology, they're still using web conferencing and audio conferencing, and they just didn't even know this could be this easy and possible for them. That can be really an eye-opening experience, and we're really still in the early days of adoption as a mainstream everyday technology. The awareness of that and the possibility of that has lagged behind what we deliver today, and so there's such an opportunity there for organizations to consolidate some of the tools they use. Most organizations still have, on average, about 4 different real-time communication technologies they're using. That could be their audio conferencing contracts, their web conferencing contracts. They may have some old video conferencing equipment that they bought 10 years ago that's gathering dust in the corner that no one uses, and they're not nearly getting as much out of it as they could. It tends to be very internally focused and used, and there's so much more that's possible. But the key to that, we believe, is you just have to make it absolutely simple as can be for people to use it, to take away that barrier to adoption, the intimidation from trying it, and easy for them to communicate with everyone they need, not just inside their company, but to their customers, to their partners, so it's successful every time. And we do that really, primarily through really good user experience design, but then also through taking advantage of technologies and consortiums like WebRTC, which is a 5-year-old technology that is a consortium-based technology that's part of Google Chrome. And so it lets us do things and build on top of it in ways where I can invite somebody to join me, and they're just clicking a link, and it's native to their browser, and they don't have to worry about anything. It just happens.
Yep.
And that can be kind of a mind-blowing experience for people, but it changes the way we communicate. But the core is it has to be super simple, and it has to be so good that I want to use it again, that I want to do it rather than getting in my car and driving across town for that meeting.
Yep.
And I definitely want to do it better than sitting on an audio conference call or a web conference call where it might have video, but the video is almost painful to use. Right. That's what it's all about.
Awesome. So yeah, a couple of things you mentioned there about the applications, stuff like that with using WebRTC technology, but maybe we could touch on the conference room experience. So I know that there's plenty of solutions out there. I mean, there's probably 10 different competitors out there that are also doing video conferencing. How does Lifesize kind of position ourselves kind of outside of that within the conference room?
Yeah. Well, that's our core. I mean, that's the secret sauce, if you will, or the intellectual property that's really propelled our company from the beginning. Is we make great video technology that's easy to use. That's a great value, and it really for us starts from the meeting space out. Whether that's a little huddle room, whether that's a little space you carve out in the corner of an open space, whether it's your boardroom or anything in between. We have purpose-built, secure appliances that pair and connect to our service as a connected device, like your Nest thermostat or your Fitbit.
Right.
You just don't have to think about it.
Yep. The
software automatically updates. All the directories synchronize. There's centralized reporting and management for IT. So it's just a piece of cake. You connect it and you forget about it, and people can just use it, and it's consistent to what they would use on their laptop or their mobile phone in terms of experience. So it makes training and the barriers to use and the barriers to support just sort of melt away. But the other part is underneath it, we just have best-in-class, incredible video and audio technology in there, like great speaker phones with just incredible clarity. Really broadcast-grade cameras and encoding to make the experience terrific.
Yeah, it's evidence right here. We're doing it right now.
Yeah, we're using our products and service to do this. And we tie that all together in enterprise-grade products that are secure and that have managed life cycles. And what that means is we have customers who routinely are running our products for 6, 7 years, some 10 years.
Which is really impressive, too, because you look at cell phone manufacturers today, people are switching smartphones every 6 months to a year, and it's like, hey, if I can spend, some money on this, I can actually get a very good life cycle out of it and really realize the investment there.
Exactly, and it's predictive. It always works. There's no virus scanner running. It's not a kit where you have to integrate it yourself or count on somebody else to kind of put together lots of little different manufacturers' products and hope that you can sustain it.
You don't have to worry about that blue screen of death or anything like that.
Or you've got a bunch of different consumer-grade technologies that you're trying to build into an enterprise technology. Right. And it's only as good as its weakest link, which is the consumer-grade piece that you put in there. You're going to get 2 or 3 years out of that. Whereas with our products attached to our service, customers are routinely getting 6, 7, or more years. So, and it's consistent. So with fewer hassles, with global support for every piece from one vendor. So what people can count on with that is they may have to, with other solutions, they may have to replace and rev their technology 2 or 3 times in the same time frame, in the time frame that they would have to rev ours once. That's not just the total cost of ownership of having to buy over and over. It's the disruption of doing it and integrating each time. It's the more complex support. So it sets us up in a place where having the hardware and the software and the service purpose-built and just perfectly linked means it's a better total cost of ownership by far and a better value over time than anything else in the market.
Absolutely. Awesome. So a couple things left just to wrap us up. Just kind of a little overview or summary, I guess, if you will, kind of how video is changing meeting spaces.
Well, I think it is we said in the beginning, but it is the transformative technology. And what's changed is, the quality can be amazing, and that's certainly what we do. But the key is making it incredibly easy to use, not just internally, but externally, and interoperable with what people have, so they have investment protection.
Yep.
So you're not just equipping your own employees to talk to each other, they can talk to their customers and partners and others that they need to speak to externally. And that's what makes the technology ubiquitous. That's what makes people adopt it. That's when it stops being something that IT has to push, and it's something where people say, wow, this is so much better than what I've been doing.
Yeah.
It's so much better than a phone call. It's so much better than a web conference. And when you do that, how that removes the chaos is it allows you to consolidate money you're spending on audio conferencing and web conferencing into a more unified technology that includes those features, but that also gives you just such a dramatically better communication method. And it means people may say, I'm not going to hop on the plane today and go for that meeting, or I'm not going to get in my car and drive across town. I can do it from my desk or the conference room, and it's going to be amazing, and I don't need to waste that time or compromise on quality.
Yeah. All right. Well, it looks like we're out of time here, but thank you so much, Michael, for meeting with us today, talking to us about controlling chaos, making sure that nobody's really wasting time, like you said, with travel and stuff like that. But would love to hear more about this from you, and thanks so much for joining us, and hope everybody has a great day.
Thanks for having me. I really enjoyed it.
All righty.